Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Manchester City play Wycombe tomorrow in the Carabao Cup, the Manchester City Cup, and I'm very excited for this game because it's our trophy. We've had our name on it for many years now, and I want to win it again. Of course I want to win it again. It's the Carabao Cup. It means absolutely everything. Doesn't. But you know what I mean? It does at the same time. But this is going to be an interesting game for a few reasons. Mainly because Guardiola said quite a few academy players will be involved in this game. So today, this preview is a little bit different. It will have the predicted lineup and all that kind of stuff and so on. But I also thought I would take you a little bit as well through some of the academy players who could be involved to hopefully maybe bring you up to scratch a little bit knowledge-wise if you aren't sure who some of these players are, which would be very understandable given the amount of players that we've got in our squad these days. Of course, there is some context to this. Guardiola did say before the game, he said, I don't have any alternatives but to play the youngsters. We're going to play a few young players. He said some players might rest for the games we have coming up ahead of us, and yes, a few players from the academy are going to play. Ruben has played all the minutes so far, and Joao Cancelo has played all the minutes too. I don't think they'll be able to play in this game. So if you don't know what's going on, we've got a whole bunch of injuries at the moment. The players that aren't going to play for injury reasons are unfortunately the pair of centre-backs, John Stones and Laporte, who are still out. Zinchenko has got a little bit of a knock at the moment and has two key midfielders, Rodri and Gundogan. So we're already about 5 first-team players. And as Guardiola mentioned, he said Ruben and Joao have played all the minutes, so I don't think they'll be able to play in this game. So there's 7 players immediately, so no Diaz and Cancelo as well. And who knows, maybe we'll see some rest as well for other players that he didn't mention that have played an awful lot of football too so far this season, like Bernardo maybe, I don't know. He could not be involved in this game potentially either, which is interesting. So it does leave us a little bit with a whole bunch of players to fill into this squad. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about the players that could be involved. I'll start with the ones that you almost definitely know. Cole Palmer, turns 19. He turns 20 in May next year, so he's only 19 years old. A man glad, of course. And we've already seen bits of Cole Palmer with the first team, so he's not a name new to us, really. Exceptionally gifted attacking midfielder, often plays in the right wing for the EDS, but he's been played as a midfielder for Guardiola, which is interesting. But he's mesmerically gifted. I love him outright, actually. I would like to see him as a right winger in this game, as a sort of young Mahrez take on the role, which would be fascinating. I don't know if it'll happen or not, but I do love the lad. He's a fantastically gifted young player. And I'm happy he's going to be involved and probably get the start tomorrow that I think he probably deserves. So we know about him. We also know an awful lot about Liam Delap. Still only 18 years old, despite being physically huge. He is now back in full training, and there's a good chance that he could be involved tomorrow. He could even start. I don't know if he will because he's not played much football recently, though he did play the other day for the EDS and he scored, of course he did. But the bullish, bulldozing player, I think you would have seen a bit of him already this season, be it just pre-season games, if he'd been fit and firing, but unfortunately hasn't been. But Delap almost certainly will be involved in the squad, I reckon. I need to add a little caveat in this, that the B team, essentially, under 23s, are in the old Checker Day trophy tomorrow as well, whatever that's going to be. So that'll be interesting. So we need some academy players for that as well. So there'll be some crossover there. The other player that you'll most likely know as well, of course, is Romeo Lavia. He's been around the first team a little bit as well, even if he hasn't played this season. Romeo Lavia is a very gifted young defensive midfielder. He won the EDS Player of the Season last year, which is some doing given the fact that Liam Delap actually broke goal-scoring records in the Premier League too, and Cole Palmer was mesmeric as well. But nope, Lavia was the EDS Player of the Season. Tenaciously gifted, number 6. We got him from Anderlecht, and he's still only 17 until January as well. What I really like about Romeo Lavia is that the game seems to play in slow motion for him. He always knows where to be. He always knows how to pick up the right pass, and he's very good at reading the game. Genuinely, he intercepts so many passes from midfield, and he's so composed on the ball, spinning so well with his technique out of dangerous situations. Doesn't matter how many people are around him, he can spin out, and he's a fantastically young player. Really highly rated. Got him from Anderlecht, where Vinny apparently didn't want him to let him go, but we got him, and he's ours, and he's brilliant. So he's a good chance. Couple more names for you. One guy who I actually think will start this game is Joshua Wilson-Esbrand. Now, he's definitely a new name to a lot of people. Surprisingly, he was on the bench on Saturday, actually, which was his birthday, I think, actually. Was it his birthday, or was it someone else's birthday I'm thinking of? No, I'm thinking about Betty, which we'll get onto in a minute. Now, Wilson, actually, Esbrand, he's 18, and he's 19 in December, so he's only very young still, once again, 18 years old. He actually joined us from West Ham back in 2019, I think. He had a really good first season with the under-18s, but unfortunately, he got a knee injury which kept him out most of last season, so he didn't really play any football, despite being a very good prospect. He's come back for the EDS, and he's been great this season. It really has. He's shown exactly why he's highly rated. He's a proper left-back, an actual left-back. I know what you're thinking. City have got a left-back, an academy left-back with potential. And yes, this is a big chance for him to impress, actually, because he's your old-school left-back in terms of gets forward really well. He's strong, good pace on him. Physically, he's well-built as well. Good at getting forward, really good at supporting the attack, decent pace. Yeah, just a classic galloping left-back, man. What more can you ask for than that? And I've got a feeling, given the Cancelo and Zinchenko, Zinchenko's injured and Cancelo's going to be rested, I think he may start this game, and his experience the other day on the bench will be huge for him. Kompany is another one who I think will start. He's 18 years old. He turned 18 on Saturday, so he was on the bench on Saturday against Southampton on his 18th birthday, which is fantastic. Another one that's been in the club for some time now. I think he joined as an under-12, born in London, I think, joined as an under-12, so he's been here for many years now already, and he's a lot to like about Kompany. He's a big, powerful centre-back, and honestly, you can tell, and he'd admit this himself, that he models his game on Vincent Kompany. He's left-footed, so he plays left centre-back, but the way he walks and the way he carries himself, his posture, he stands with his shoulders, and he does that same strut that Vinny did when he meant something. Very, very, very good young prospect. Good pace, good strength, very good on the ball, because all Manchester City centre-backs are good on the ball. And a really, really big chance for him as well to impress. I've got a feeling he'll start alongside Wilson-Esbrand and maybe a senior defender, which we'll get onto a bit. Who else have I missed out so far? McAtee, of course, could be there as well. I'm hoping he is. He's been absolutely on fire for the EDS this season. A couple of hat-tricks, a couple of braces, so many assists and goals. His record is something stupid. I'm just guessing, but it's something like 12 goals in like 7 games or something like that at the moment. That's not quite accurate, but it's very, very impressive. Loads of assists as well. He just keeps turning on the tap and creating goals and assists. And it's kind of surprised me, actually, this insane goal-scoring turn of form, because he was always scoring goals, but not to this level. Either way, he's still only 18 years old, turns 19 next month, and he's from Salford as well, so the Salford Silver has been a label that's been thrown at him. And McAtee absolutely deserves to be involved tomorrow if he is. Honestly, the Silver comparison makes an awful lot of sense. We saw him pre-season. He does play with a very similar style, but this season, for whatever reason, he's not just become a creator, he's become a goal scorer as well, which has really, really boosted, I guess, his rep in general. Scoring from insane distance, or, I don't know, spinning players, passing it into the top corner. We've seen him do it in training as well with the first team, passing it into the top corner from 20 yards, and just absolutely excellent technically, genuinely so composed. And he's not the slightest playmaker either. He's still only relatively small, but he's not like tiny. He's skinny still, but he's like 5'10", so he's a decent size. He's not like 5'7" like, Phil Foden was, a little bit bigger at the same age. Honestly, so gifted, one of many good players, hopefully be involved. And of course, a Dozie. We've also a bit of a Dozie, the Community Shield as well. Still only 18 years old, 19 in January. We got him from Millwall back in 2019. And he's gone from strength to strength, to be honest. Your old school winger, man. Just pacey, like a little, looks like a track athlete. Genuinely just wiry, long distance kind of runner. But he's pacey, he's skillful, he turns people inside out. He's your old school winger. Get him the ball and see what he can do. Let him run at his defenders and he'll create chances, and he scores plenty of goals as well, as you saw in pre-season. Dozie, I don't know if he'll be involved or not, but he's got a very good chance. He's a really, really good player. And then finally, the curveball. The curveball could be Keiki, or Kayky, or however it's pronounced. I'm going to call it Keiki forever. Sorry, mate. But either way, he is allegedly in training now, allegedly available. I don't know if he is. I've never had it confirmed, and no one seems to fully confirm it either. But there are some rumours that he could be involved in this potentially, which is interesting, because I love the idea of randomly tomorrow going to the Etihad and seeing a Brazilian wonder kid make a little start out of nowhere. But he's a bit of a curveball there. We'll see if our new Brazilian wonder kid is involved. It'd be very exciting. So what do I think in terms of the actual team then? Well, I think it'll be something like this. I think Stefan will probably start in goal because he's recovered from COVID now. Kyle Walker, I think, will play this game. I think they'll want a bit of experience. I thought we might see Fernandinho in midfield, but I've got a feeling they won't play him because I think they'll be pissing themselves that he gets an injury, and then they've got no defensive midfielder. They could be Gundogan, of course, but I think they won't play Fernandinho. I think Ake will play, actually, which is interesting, but I think he'll play alongside Mbete. I think Diaz will sit this one out. We always know Guardiola will still play the odd senior player here and there, so I think Ake and Mbete will be completed with Wilson-Esbrand at left back making his Manchester City debut, and I think there'll be a full debut as well for Romeo Lavia in midfield, who I think will start at number 6 because he's impressed Guardiola by all accounts. Now, this is where it gets interesting. We could see McAtee here. We could see someone like him alongside another academy player. But I think Kevin De Bruyne will actually get a start because I think Kevin De Bruyne needs a little bit of match fitness, to be honest. So I think he'll start this game, which is crazy, but it's Guardiola. Would anyone really be surprised? I think he'll start it alongside Cole Palmer in midfield. So I think Cole Palmer will play there. And then I think I think it'll be a relatively strong forward line. I would love to see, I don't know, McAtee be involved in the midfield or the attack or something like that, or a Dozie, or even Delap or Keiki, but I reckon it'll be Mahrez, and I think Foden will get a start on the left just to get some minutes, with Mahrez playing some more minutes as well, and I think Varane actually will return to the team through the middle. It should be Delap for me, but I'm not sure he's ready yet. I don't know if Guardiola wants to start that many young players. I would love to see Keiki start and McAtee and Dozie, but I don't think he'll start all of them. This is the team that I would love to see here on screen right now. So you'd have Stefan, of course, you'd Walker, maybe Ake and Betty and Wilson-Esbrand, but then I would have Lavia, Palmer, McAtee would be great. Actually, I would say De Bruyne and McAtee, Palmer out wide, Delap, and then a Dozie in the middle. But at the same time, you kind of also want to see some of the young players with the first team players, because otherwise, what's the point? You need to see how they get on in a first team environment, not just an EDS environment, which all of a sudden it will become. So we have to be careful about this. So I do want a mixture of young players, and who knows, maybe we'll see the likes of McAtee get on as a substitute at some point or something like that. But it's going to be interesting either way, because this game, I think we should be all right. Akinfenwa's was playing, of course, for them, which will be fascinating. But I'm going to go with Manchester City to win this relatively comfortably. I'm going to go for 3-0 at the Etihad tomorrow, and I can't really wait for it. Let me know if this was enjoyable. Let me know what the team you think should be. Wycombe, Akinfenwa, Manchester City. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? But that is my little preview of this game. Hopefully you enjoyed the preview of all the academy players. I thought it'd be a little bit different to do that and talk a little bit about who they are and how they could be involved. I'm expecting it'll be a fun game. I will be at the Etihad tomorrow, so you've seen me and Nicola. It's our 1 month anniversary of being married, actually, tomorrow, coincidentally. So if you see us there, say hello. Thank you for my Patreon producer, Scott Denemy, and all you guys who are watching these videos. Massively, massively appreciated. Go watch the Keiki profile that I did as well. And of course, my reaction to the Southampton game if you want to as well. For now, though, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm on the way to 60k. Hit the subscribe button. Love you all absolutely loads, and I'll catch you tomorrow for another video in a bit.